This is Dave Espino, and welcome to today's Daily Hustle. Today I want to talk about a topic called faith. Now, I'm not going to talk about my faith in this particular video. I might reserve that for a future video. But I want to talk about the general concept of faith and how it relates to being successful in your own home-based or online business. I receive a lot of skeptical and cynical emails from people whenever I send out an offer, or I send out either one of my own offers, or I send out an affiliate offer, something that I'm recommending to people. A lot of these go along the lines of, hey Dave, have you actually looked at this product? I mean, do you really think it's going to do what it says it's going to do? It's kind of a skeptical angle, right? Or they say something negative about it, like, oh, how could that product work? It's just, blah, blah, blah. And they'll say something negative or talk it down or whatever. I need you to know that whenever I recommend a product that's not mine, whenever I recommend a product as an affiliate, I have thoroughly vetted that product. I have checked it out. I've either reviewed it myself, or I happen to know the person who is offering it, and I know their integrity level, and I know that it's good. I do not just promote things that just for the sake of it. I have too much value in my email list and my relationship with my subscribers to just do that and burn out my list for the sake of a few dollars, okay? In fact, I'm better off promoting my own products to my subscribers. The first thing I need you to know is that I always vet and I always research and review every product before I promote it. You'd be amazed at how many products I do not offer to my list. How many products are horrible. How many products are just not explained very well. They're just not taught very well. They may be good topics, but they're not taught very well. Or they may just be horrible topics and a product I wouldn't put my name on and would definitely not recommend to anybody. So there are a lot of products that come across my field of vision that just get swept away, swept away, swept away. They do not pass my filter. So when I do recommend a product, it's because that product has passed my filter. I've seen it as something that my audience can benefit from, that my audience would be interested in, and that my audience would see as something they could actually do. In other words, it's not hyper complicated, it's not super hard to do, it's something they could actually do. Now, having said that, I want to stay on the topic of faith. Faith is so important to being successful, because without faith, and let's kind of use a familiar thing like positive thinking. Without thinking positively and having faith in the process, number one, you're not going to try. Number two, you're not going to move forward. Number three, you're going to keep yourself locked in to where you are right now. The most successful people that I've seen have an open mind. They're willing to test things. They're willing to invest, $15, $50, $100 to try something and test something without having to email somebody and say, hey, can you tell me if this, and this is wrong with this product? In other words, they've got a little bit of faith. They've got a little bit of positivity going in. They're not cynical. They're not skeptical. They're not angry. Some of the emails I get just seem like the person's really upset that, they got offered a product that could potentially change their lives. Try to remove some of that skepticism, that cynicism. Try to have a little bit more of that childlike faith. Try to have a little bit more of that optimistic view of things, because when you have the pessimistic view and the lack of faith, that's hindering you from moving forward. That's keeping you from being successful, because it's the optimistic, can-do spirit. It's really the spirit of America. Optimistic, we can do it, I can make it happen, I'm going to go forward. It's these types of attitudes that are going to make you successful. Not having faith, whether it's in me, my recommendations, or whether it's in just a general opportunity, is going to hinder you. In other words, I think what I'm trying to say is, if you carefully look at an opportunity and you vet it, you do your due diligence, and you still decide not to do it, not to test it, at least try it a little bit in order to see if the next step works, you're actually doing more harm to yourself than good by being negative, pessimistic, or not having the faith to believe that somebody actually wants to do good for you. Now remember what I said, you've done your due diligence. Okay, I'm not talking about blind faith, and I'm not talking about, hey, go buy every product and any product out there. Okay, I'm talking about finding things that fit you, your personality, and fit something that you could do well at, right? And having a positive, optimistic view of things instead of automatically discounting them or saying, no, that'll never work, or no, that's a product from that company, so forget it, or that's a product from that person, so forget it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to define a fine line here, and that is having faith versus not having faith, being positive versus being negative, being optimistic versus being pessimistic. You want to move that line a little bit more towards the optimistic side. All the successful people I know are that way. They're willing to go for it. They're willing to try. They're willing to test something. They're willing to at least take the next step to see if that works. And then take the next step and see if that does well. And then take the next step. They don't dismiss it just out of hand. And that's, I think, the point I'm trying to make, is don't dismiss things just out of hand. Test them. Take the next step. Be willing to take one step forward, one step forward, one step at a time to determine whether that opportunity or that product or that video series is going to work for you. I hope this made sense. I felt like I was kind of rambling in it, but I also believe in everything I just said. Have more faith. It's going to be good for you. It's going to launch you to success. And not having faith is going to keep you where you're at. I hope you enjoyed this Daily Hustle, and I'll see you tomorrow.